Today's video, I guess for those, happy Valentine's Day, but today's video isn't Valentine's Day related. Um, I was gonna do this video yesterday since it was Friday the 13th, but I forgot. But today's video is gonna be about my issues. Well, before that, someone did a video similar to the video I'm gonna do today, but I don't want to come off as a ripoff, so I just want to address that. But today's video is called My Issues with Horror Movies. Because I just feel like the last decade, honestly, horror movies have just dwindled. Like, you look at horror movies from the 70s and the 80s. Horror movies were popular. You had movies like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Nightmare on Elm Street came in the mid 80s. Shit, Friday the 13th dominated the 80s. There was like movie after movie. And when you look at horror movies nowadays, okay, well, you also got to look at in the early to mid 90s, horror movies kind of tanked because people were kind of getting tired of the chase and slash. People were just getting tired of it. So, and then you look at it now. Then Scream came out, which kind of resurged. I'm more talking about the slasher genre, but I'm going to talk about horror movies universally. But then, since Scream came out, then horror movies kind of got popular again. Then you had the Blair Witch Project, which kind of started the found footage movies. But, it started, but it wasn't really there wasn't a lot of found footage movies. Up until Paranormal Activity, which in my opinion was the start of the fall of horror movies, because we got nothing but found footage bullshit the last several years. Where do I start? One, it's all jump scares now. There's no legit scary moments. When you look at Halloween, for example, that movie, talking about the first one, had the atmosphere. And that's another thing I don't really feel like horror movies nowadays have. They don't have that atmosphere like Halloween did. You had, the nice music. You had the tone. And you can see there are no jump scares. Yeah, there were jump scares in older horror movies, but they were not excessive. I thought they were done very well done. Nowadays, jump scares are nothing but jump scares in most modern horror movies. Oh, let's have a loud noise just to act like something's happening. It's like, holy shit, be original. Jump scares aren't scary, they're just dumb. It's just insulting my intelligence because it's not even legit scary. We're just gonna have a bunch of jump scares that means scary. No, it doesn't. It's just also fucking lazy. To me, it's just lazy. And I know a lot of horror movies aren't masterpieces, but come on. It's just lazy to me. Also, I think other thing is shaky cam. I'm going to shake the camera excessively to make it like something super scary is happening. That's another issue. I just think that's another overused thing in horror movies is fucking shaky cam. It's just late, especially it's very common in found footage movies, shaky cam. It's just, we're gonna shake the camera to make it like it's something really scary is happening. It's cheap, it's lazy, it's just not original, And you can also look at the characters too. And I know, horror movies aren't really, I don't think this is important. I know a lot of horror movies, I don't really care about the characters for the most part, but you should at least have one likable character, and I feel like a lot of horror movies nowadays don't have that anymore. I don't like anybody in most modern horror movies. I should at least like the main character. Like, you look at Halloween, you had, you had Laurie Strode, you had Dr. Loomis, and of course Michael himself. And then, and I normally don't care about characters in most horror movies, but You know, it's just nowadays there's like no one likable. You just get stupid people just being stupid. Like you have the girl who is getting chased by the killer and then she trips over nothing. It's like, come on. You know, it's just, be scary. Just don't be lame and make make the characters likable, because I've always said this about movies. If you have to have your main character needs to be likable, because that movie is centered around that person. If a main character is not likable, I'm probably not gonna like the movie because it centers around that person. And a lot of times I don't even like the main character because they're stupid. It's just dumb. And then a lot of times you have the trope, like you have the slutty girl, the jock boyfriend, the like smart final girl, which is usually another common thing in horror movies. You have to have that one final girl. Like you had Sydney in Scream, like she was smart, virgin, like didn't have sex or anything. The one thing in most horror movies I personally want, can we not have any survivors? Why does there always need to be survivors? I've always said this. I think a scarier horror movie would be if the killer killed everybody. Like, in a Friday the 13th movie, Jason, the way they make Jason now is like he's this zombie undead guy who's pretty much unkillable. He should kill everyone, no problem. That's the one thing in horror movies I do wish we had more of. It'd be nice if the killer just killed everybody, especially if none of the characters are even likable. You know, it's just that'll be nice and different. You don't see that a lot. It's another annoying thing about horror movies. Nowadays, oh, that's another thing. It's either found footage or it's fucking remakes. Yeah, it's fucking remakes. Like I'm not one of those people who complains about remakes. I think, yes, there have been some good remakes. I like the Halloween remake. I'm not the first one. The second one was fucking garbage. But there are some good remakes. I don't think all remakes are just bad, but that's what it seems like that is either remakes or just found footage. Or like the fucking movies like The Conjuring and Insidious. That's what it seems like now. And I know everything in horror movies have been pretty much done, but, come on. I would like to see good old slasher films, I would like to see a new slasher film, that'd be nice. With a new killer and all. I understand it's hard because pretty much everything's been done in horror movies, and and it's just fucking, you don't have the same feel, I just feel like horror movies are kind of, I wouldn't say obsolete, but, they don't seem that popular anymore. Like back, I mean, you still do have horror movies, but nowadays is movies like Ouija, which I heard was fucking terrible. What was another? Paranormal Activity. They're constantly making those movies still. Those movies were bad. I've only seen the second one, and that's all I need to see. It's all jump scares and fucking shaky cam. And loud noise. That's another thing that's kind of what's problem. Let's have loud noises to make it like something eerie's happening. You don't have that atmosphere anymore, like Halloween did. Even Friday the 13th had that atmosphere. You're in the middle of the woods. At least that's somewhat of an atmosphere, And I know horror movies are made for fun, and they're not masterpieces. That's not what I'm saying. A horror movie doesn't need to be a masterpiece. And that really goes with any movie, honestly. I don't need a movie to be a masterpiece to be good. As long as it has a decent plot, decent characters, and whatever, I like it. But I just feel like horror movies nowadays just have none of that. You don't really have any good characters. You don't have that atmosphere anymore. I mean, there's one movie, I'm not saying all horror movies are bad. There's this one movie I saw called The Babadook. I actually thought that was pretty good. Even though, it to me was more of a thriller. It didn't really feel like a horror movie, but It was a good modern horror movie, you know. I thought, you know, it didn't have the stupid shaky cam, fucking, uh, you know, jump scares or none of that, you know. I thought The Babadook was a pretty good movie, so that's one of the very few modern horror movies that are pretty good. So, you know, and the thing is, I would love for horror movies to get like a reformation and go back to the way it was, because I love horror movies. One of my favorite genres. It's just horror movies just don't have that same feel anymore, you know. But yeah, guys, this is just me venting my issues with horror movies. I might do more of these. I might do like an action one, maybe even for comedy and stuff like that. So I might do more of these. But yeah, until tomorrow, we'll be doing Wrestle Talk. It'll be the return of Wrestle Talk. I know it's been like almost a month since I've done Wrestle Talk. I'm sorry, but yeah, I'll do Wrestle Talk tomorrow. And until then, guys, I'm signing off. Signing out.